Tyndall Academy has been an A school and served military families in Bay County for decades. But in 2018, the school and the Air Force Base took one of its hardest hits, Hurricane Michael.
Yeah, since then, plans to rebuild a new school have been in the works, but it's been years and families are still waiting for the new school they were promised.
News Channel 7's Isabella Ben-Humea has been investigating, and she looks at why the project has dragged on and what a new environmental assessment means for families in this 7 Investigates exclusive.
Jess Berry, a year after Hurricane Michael, the district spent millions adding 35 portable classrooms to expand Tyndall Academy into a K-8 school. The documents show this school is over capacity, and parents tell me updates have been hard to come by. Now, a key hurdle, the Air Force has released its environmental assessment for public comment, moving the project closer to a decision. It's been years since the process to rebuild Tyndall Academy began.
The Bay District School Board has been very committed to rebuilding.
But some military families are concerned with how long it's taking.
When I came here in 2022, I was told in a few months we were going to have new school facilities. It is 2026. I am living without new school facilities and without any progress in sight.
Superintendent Mark McQueen says the district leases the school building from the Air Force Base. That lease expires in April 2029. They've been working alongside Tyndall Air Force Base leadership to find a more permanent school campus.
2023, there was a start of the initial beginnings for a new middle school academic building. When we were beginning that construction, apparently the Air Force came and said, hey, we're not going to extend your lease at the existing site. So the previous superintendent said, no, we're not going to build until we know that we have an extended lease.
Superintendent Mark McQueen and Tyndall Air Force Base leadership say there are 3 sites that are being considered to rebuild Tyndall Academy. Alternative one is the Cleveland Gate site, located right here off of Highway 98. Then there's the Youth Center and the Beacon Beach site. Both of these are located inside of Tyndall Air Force Base by the housing area. I'm told that all of these 3 sites underwent environmental assessments for years, pending Tyndall leadership approval. At the March 24th Bay District Schools meeting, Tyndall Air Force Base Wing Commander Colonel Chris Berchthold announced the long-awaited environmental assessment was finally approved and released for public comment.
So the environmental assessment has been going on for what seems like a very long time. It's been an arduous process, but we have reached a point where we will get it's called a mitigated FONSI, or mitigated finding of no significant impact, which means if you so decide, you can build school at Tyndall Air Force Base.
The 352-page document proposes a 50-year lease for a 40 to 80-acre campus, a new K-8 school designed for about 1,200 students.
And what that EA will allow is for the Air Force and the Department of War to engage in a no-cost lease with Bay District schools.
The assessment lists the Cleveland Gate site as the preferred option, mainly because it's outside the base with fewer security and access issues for civilian families. But it also comes with a catch. It's closer to the runway, so it exceeds noise guidelines, and mitigating that could increase costs 25 to 40%. The other 2 inside base sites have high accessibility concerns for non-military families. The document shows the existing school site does not meet the selection criteria. However, Tyndall leadership is also working to extend the lease at the existing school site while the new school is built.
We have gotten approval from the Environmental Protection Agency, as well as the state of Florida, to expand and refurbish the current school.
But some parents say there's been a lack of communication throughout the process.
Transparency, communication with our community is fundamental, is essential. We don't feel that there has been a transparent process. Majority of the military families stay here for 3-4 years and then they move to different places. Every time that happens, we restart the clock.
Parents News Channel 7 spoke with say Tyndall Academy's rebuilding is necessary because there are issues with the current infrastructure.
We have the oldest school building in the whole district. keep on fixing and putting patches to the infrastructure, which is a problem that is being addressed from time to time. But the main problem is, where are our new facilities? Where are our new school facilities? How do we keep continuity?
Their teachers are great and we love them, and the parents and everybody, admin, everyone. But something needs to happen to match the magic that goes inside those walls, right?
According to Colonel Bergthold, the Department of War will consider if Tyndall Academy is eligible to get funding.
Our hope is that it would mean that Tyndall would get new funding from the Department of War to be able to help come alongside. And that's usually an 80-20 split combination. So the Department of War would contribute 80% of whatever that cost is, and the local community would absorb the other 20%.
Colonel Bergthold says after the 30-day public comment period, his team expects to make a decision and possibly sign off on it this summer. But it could still take years before a new school is up and running.
When you have a school where the children are performing that well and the teachers and the administrators are universally beloved, it's easy to see past the infrastructure, which is unacceptable.
So for now, parents will keep on waiting.
Colonel Berthold says the Department of War is inspecting Tyndall Academy this Wednesday as part of their initiative called Public Schools on Military Installations, where they examine public schools and military bases across the world. In 2017, Tyndall Academy didn't meet the threshold to receive funding as part of that initiative. But like McQueen explained, that money would help alleviate the costs of rebuilding if and when it's granted.
And since News Channel 7 began looking into Tyndall Academy's infrastructure concerns from parents, several issues have been resolved. That's according to parents we spoke with and school officials.
But we're also told that other issues still remain. The full environmental assessment document is available on our website at WJHG.com.
Well, straight out of 1926, a local Coast Guard veteran named Jack McDonald